Elon Musk sat in his office, enjoying a rare moment of quiet. His life was always filled with ideas, projects, and ambitions. But today, a thought stuck in his mind. During a conversation with a colleague about human behavior, an interesting question came up. How would people treat him if they didn't recognize him? Would their behavior change if they thought he was just an ordinary person with nothing? The idea fascinated him. He decided to turn it into an experiment. A few weeks later, on a cloudy Thursday afternoon, he finalized the details. His disguise was simple yet effective. Old clothes from a thrift store, worn-out sneakers, and a messy wig. A small makeup team helped make his face look tired and aged, removing any trace of the famous billionaire. When he looked in the mirror, even he barely recognized himself. For the first time in years, he felt invisible. His destination was the Copper Elm, a high-end restaurant in Santa Fe, New Mexico. It was known for its exclusivity and wealthy customers, making it the perfect place for his test. This wasn't about exposing anyone, but about understanding how people judge others based on appearance. Taking a deep breath, Elon stepped out of his office, his heart beating faster than expected. The car ride to the restaurant was normal, but for him, every moment was filled with anticipation. When he reached the grand doors of the Copper Elm, he hesitated for a second before stepping inside. The experiment had begun. Inside, the restaurant was elegant, with chandeliers casting a warm glow over neatly arranged tables. Guests chatted while sipping expensive drinks. As Elon entered, a few customers glanced at him before returning to their meals, but the staff reacted differently. Their eyes lingered on him, scanning his worn-out clothes. A well-dressed hostess approached him with a forced smile. "Can I help you?" she asked, her voice polite but uncertain. "Yes," Elon said calmly. "I'd like a table for one." She hesitated, glancing at the manager standing by the bar. The manager frowned, clearly disapproving of Elon's presence. "We're fully booked tonight," the hostess said quickly, though Elon noticed several empty tables. Instead of arguing, Elon stayed silent, letting the uncomfortable moment stretch. Across the room, a young server named Sophia observed the interaction. She had been working at the Copper Elm for a few months, saving up for culinary school. Something about the man intrigued her. He didn't look like a homeless wanderer. There was something different about him. "I can seat him," Sophia called out before the hostess could turn him away. The room went silent. The manager's frown deepened, but he said nothing. Elon gave Sophia a small, appreciative smile as she led him to a table near the kitchen doors. It wasn't the best seat, but at least he had a place to sit. "Thank you," he said sincerely. "Take your time," Sophia replied warmly, ignoring the whispers around her. As Elon flipped through the menu, he noticed people staring and overheard quiet conversations about him. Some guests looked at him with curiosity, others with disapproval. Even the staff seemed uncomfortable. A server whispered loudly, "What's he even doing here?" Another replied, "This is going to scare away the regulars." Sophia returned to take his order. "Just soup and bread," Elon said. "That's all?" she asked, surprised. "That's all," he confirmed. She didn't question him further and walked away. As Elon waited, he felt the weight of judgmental stares but remained composed. People often spoke about kindness, but did they practice it when it really mattered? When Sophia brought his food, she placed it in front of him with the same care she would give to any other customer. "Enjoy your meal," she said with a genuine smile. "Thank you," Elon replied, meeting her gaze. He could tell she wasn't just doing her job. She was being kind. As he ate, he observed the staff and customers. The hostess avoided looking at him. The bartender laughed quietly with another waiter, and the manager occasionally glanced his way, clearly unhappy. A man at a nearby table muttered, "What's management thinking? Letting someone like that in here?" A couple at another table exchanged nervous glances. The woman whispered, "What if he asks us for money?" Her partner shrugged, but his discomfort was obvious. Sophia continued working, moving between tables with patience and professionalism. When an older woman called her over, clearly irritated, she asked, "Why are you wasting time on him? People like that shouldn't be allowed here." Sophia's face turned red, but she kept her composure. "I believe everyone deserves respect, ma'am," she said firmly. The woman huffed and returned to her meal. Elon silently admired Sophia's courage. It wasn't easy to stand up for someone society dismissed. As Elon finished his meal, another server approached with a stiff posture. "Are you ordering anything else?" he asked, his tone cold. "No, thank you," Elon replied. The server gave him a tight-lipped smile before walking away, muttering, "Waste of space." Elon heard it clearly but remained silent. Sophia came to clear his table. "Is everything okay?" she asked softly. "Yes. Thank you for your kindness," he said. Her expression softened. "Of course," she said before walking away. At that moment, Elon saw what he had been looking for, a glimpse of true humanity in a sea of judgment. The experiment had revealed more than he expected, but it wasn't over yet. The room grew tense as Elon stood up. All eyes followed him. Sophia, carrying a tray, stopped, watching him curiously. The manager hurried toward him. "Sir, if you're finished, I'll have to ask you to leave," he said sternly. Elon raised a hand, signaling him to wait. "I will. But first, I have something to say." The restaurant fell silent. Elon slowly removed his wig, revealing his true identity. Gasps echoed across the room. "It's Elon Musk," someone whispered in shock. He let the recognition settle before speaking. "Tonight, I came here not as a man you know, but as someone you wouldn't normally notice. I wanted to see how people treat those they believe are beneath them." The weight of his words hung in the air. "I saw judgment, I heard whispers, and I witnessed how appearances shape perceptions. But one person, just one, treated me with kindness and respect." He turned to Sophia. "Sophia, you didn't know who I was, yet you showed me kindness. That's what truly matters." Sophia's face turned red as she stepped forward. "I was just doing my job," she said quietly. "No," Elon replied, shaking his head. "You went beyond that. You showed empathy when it was easier to ignore me." Elon handed her an envelope. Sophia opened it with trembling hands. Inside was a handwritten note and a check. She read aloud, "Sophia, thank you for your kindness. Use this to follow your dreams. Culinary school, your own restaurant, whatever you choose. The world needs more people like you." Tears filled her eyes as the check, written for $50,000, fell from her hands. The restaurant erupted in whispers. Elon turned to the manager. "Consider this a reminder to treat every guest with respect." Then he looked at Sophia one last time. "Never lose your kindness. It's rare and powerful." With that, he walked out, leaving the room in stunned silence. That night, many people in the restaurant reevaluated their actions. For some, it was a lesson they would never forget.